Wild for Championship Wrestling from Georgia.
Okay. Oh, my. Well, welcome to Georgia Championship Wrestling, and I'll tell you what, I'm Gordon Soley, your host, and I've got with me right now two very, very good friends who have really upset one man in particular. I'm referring, of course, to Jimmy Hart, because he has had more than his share of problems. Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson, and Bolt, I would say that Mr. Hart is rather hard-pressed right now. He's finally gotten a hold of the Terminators.
Well, you know, he's looking for anything and everything that he can to try to stop something that Ole and I are trying to do. And that stop people from wrestling. And he's looking around trying to get some impressive guy, but we are ready to wrestle. That's the name of the game, and Ole and I don't care who he gets or who he think he can find, we are ready to wrestle. He's the mouth of the South. He wears tennis shoes, but he don't scare Ole or I. And anybody that they can get.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just switch for a second, because Ole, they are an impressive-looking pair.
Well, they really are. And everybody that he's brought against us so far and put down here in the wrestling ring has been pretty doggone good. These Terminators are no exception. We've had some tough ones. We're looking forward to just seeing how good the Terminators are.
All right. It's the Terminators moving out against Frank Lang and Gerald Finley, and it's the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, continuing to mouth off over in the corner at ringside, but I notice he is staying away from this good leapfrog and a good clubbing right forearm, and it's Lang slipping away, tags up with Gerald Finley. Finley moves in. Finley, an outstanding athlete in both high school and college, made some good inroads in the pro ranks. Remember, this match is one fall with a 10-minute time limit. And we're watching these Terminators. They are a dangerous combination. Certainly no question about that. All right, up against the ring ropes. And the Terminators now using that forearm repeatedly. And you could probably hear the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, saying where'd they run off to. He's referring, of course, to Thunderbolt Patterson and Ole Anderson. Well, Patterson and Anderson are the kind of gentlemen who... Finley went up for a high drop kick. The Terminator hung into those ropes, and that's got Finley in trouble. It is essential in a drop kick that you must make body contact. If you don't, when you hit empty air, you end up just in trouble like Finley.
Run off to now, baby, huh? Where did Thunderbolt and Ole run off to now, baby? Look at that. The Terminators, baby.
All right, we got the pinfall. We got the pinfall, and so the Terminators are indeed the victors in this match. And let's see if Mr. Hart cares to come over here. Mr. Hart. I'm just very curious, sir. You wanted to know where they went?
Yeah, where did they go?
I'm sure that they're just getting ready to meet you anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, well, I've heard that before. Let me tell you something, baby. Anytime, any place. Like I said, your days are numbered. Thunderbolt, Ole Anderson, Tommy Rich, and who it may concern, baby. The Terminators, the Dirty White Boys, you name it. The first family of professional wrestling. I've got the money, and I've got the people calling in now. Sooner or later, we're going to get rid of them once and for all.
Well, now, wait a minute, before you're such an anxious hurry to run off now. I'm thinking
no hurry to run off.
Well,
you're pretty brave, man. Are you standing in a hole or are you just that short? What is it? Come on, tell me, huh? What is it, baby?
I took a shower this morning, Mr. Hart.
Well, it doesn't smell like it. It doesn't smell like it at all. Let me tell you something, brother. I've got enough men and I've got enough money to get rid of everybody around here, and I'm going to do it before it's over with. It's going to be me or Ole Anderson before it's over. Just mark my words on that, Gordon.
Thank you so very much, Jimmy Hart. Set the ring out against Maurice Cooper and Mike Jackson. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. And Mike Jackson warning Jimmy Hart very quickly about sticking his nose into business. The Dirty White Boys removing their belts now, and they tangle with Mike Jackson. Boy, they bring Jackson up in a hurry, a full body slam. I want to say a special hello to my good friend out on the West Coast, Mr. Gil Cabot. Side headlock now by the Dirty White Boy. Jackson drops to the canvas. Jackson with a high leapfrog. Jackson catches him coming in with a beautiful drop kick. And so the Dirty White Boys feel the sting of that hard leather on their bodies as they were quickly taken off their feet. Jackson, out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham, two master's degrees. Fine athlete. And by the way, can you imagine Jackson, who is of somewhat diminutive size, if you compare him with the average wrestler, you can imagine him height-wise against the average basketball player. Yet Jackson is an excellent basketball coach. A little sidelight that I thought you might be interested in, particularly now that the basketball season is in full swing. One of the Dirty White Boys now a challenge to Jackson. Jackson accepting the challenge, and he's giving away height and leverage. And that's exactly what the Dirty White Boy was figuring on. He's taking advantage of that situation. Jackson back to his feet. Oh, my. The Wimp is complaining again about... By the way, you shouldn't call him that, though. Don't call Jimmy Hart a wimp when he comes into your local area. It upsets him. He really becomes very offended. So I must admonish you, please do not call him a wimp. And I'm sure you get my drift. Oh, slam, and it is the Dirty White Boys tagging up once again. These Dirty White Boys beginning to move more effectively. Mike Jackson smashed into the turnbuckle. And the Dirty White Boys bringing up a full body slam. Jackson catapulted. Yeah, Jimmy Hart talking about...
Great teamwork. How did you like that, huh? Dirty White Boys, one of the greatest teams in the history of professional wrestling, baby. First family members.
You call that teamwork, too, when they're double teaming?
Hey, they started it first. What did they do? He tagged out a while ago, and he held him while the other guy tagged in. Am I right or wrong?
You're totally wrong.
Well, that's how you wear glasses, and I don't, evidently, Gordon Soley.
All right, Mike Jackson in trouble here. And so as Maurice Cooper moves in, Irish whip off the rope. Cooper went for a drop kick, and it was the Dirty White Boy ducking to one side. So the Dirty White Boys are, I must say, a very, very clever combination. Double Russian leg sweep. A double Russian leg sweep. They get the pinfall on Maurice Cooper. Maurice Cooper in a pinfall using the double Russian leg sweep.
Like it was be more than a moment, Gordon Soley. Hey, you people out there, you saw that tape the last time. I think we ought to roll this tape again and show these people out here just exactly what happens to people that get in the ring with Scott Hogg and Wild Bill. Look here. That's right. Look here. Look who's standing up. And who's standing up. Look at him. Yeah. That's Brett Armstrong. Tommy Rich. He cannot there. He can't even get up and get a hold of the weasel, the wimp. What's his name? You keep having a running comment. He can't even get a hold of him. How does he expect to even come close to us? Like, I have to give it to him. He keeps coming back and coming back. But look at this. We beat him up last time. We'll do it again. Tell him, Hogg.
His mystery partner as well.
We're crawling out. We're leaving the ring in triumph and victory. And there's two guys just laying there, all spread out all over the mat, bleeding and everything else, people. And you think the guy's going to come back and try and beat us when he brings a fat Abdul the Butcher out here? Who cares? We just like to beat people up. And if we have to beat up Abdul the Butcher, we're going to do that too. People, you're looking at the best. Don't forget it. Right here, this proves it. The $100,000 proves it. People, don't think Tommy Rich, oh, I changed my attitude. I'm going to start doing things like they do. Tommy Rich You were once thought of as the boy next door. Everybody liked you. Well, the boy that lived next door to our house had to leave after staying there a month because we got beat up all the time.
Thank you very much, Tom.
We're going to beat him up.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Circle again once again. Good waist clip takedown by Tommy Wildfire Rich. Also, a special word to my good friend Kit Beecher. Coming along real well, and it is up against the ring ropes for Tommy Rich and Dale Burnett. Referee Scrappy McGowan calls for the break. All right, this will be a test of strength and leverage here. But, Tommy Wildfire Rich was 2 steps ahead that time as he came in with a perfectly executed drop toe hold. And that took Mr. Burnett to the canvas. And approaching the podium right now is a gentleman who is not allowed to compete on championship wrestling as sanctioned by the NWA. The NWA Board of Directors, because of the combined violence of this man and the deadly accuracy of his heart punch, is not allowed to compete on television. I'm referring, of course, to the 6'5", 311-pound Ox Baker.
You know, I can't believe things. I was in the back, and someone told me Ron Ritchie was in the ring. Well, this here young man is about spouting off that he wants tougher competition around this area. Well, I came out here to issue a challenge to Ron Ritchie, and lo and behold, that match went 3 or 4 minutes in the ring. Now, that is unbelievable. 2 professionals can't wrestle 7 or 8 or 10, or like myself, a half hour in the ring. And I come out here, who's in the ring? This here blonde Tommy Rich. Now,
if a man is good enough to defeat somebody in 3 or 4 minutes, then it's over.
There's nobody in the world that you can punish enough in 3 or 4 minutes. If you want to kick him a few times or bite him in the ear, that takes 5 or 6 long minutes. Now, Ron Ritchie, now he's made a brag that he wants tougher competition. Now, Ox Baker is not out here just being a big mouth. I'm out here telling these people that Ron Rich is like his Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich was a good wrestler, but he's been around a little bit too long. And after I clean up this Ron Richards act, maybe I should try to challenge this Tommy Rich. What do you think of that, Stroud?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you'd be better off to challenge somebody to a game of cribbage.
You know, yeah, I know that's supposed to be funny. I do like to play cards, but I like to beat people up more. Now, Tommy Rich, I'm barred off of this TV. Hey, Blondie, I'm talking to you. See, now you're probably into his match early, too.
Quit flapping your jaws, Jack, and bring it on.
Well, challenge coming on.
Come on, Baker.
I wish they would do that.
Well, Ox Baker saying they wish he'd let him on. Tommy Wildfire Rich punishing Mr. Burnett.
Wait. Forget about Ron Ritchie. I don't think he's good enough to put a fantastic Ox Baker into it. Now, I know that Tommy Rich has got this big monster he calls Abdullah Bitcher, supposed to be his bodyguard. Well, I don't think Abdullah can guard anybody's body. What are you laughing about?
It's not a question of laughing, Mr. Baker. It's a question of the very fact that while you're talking about this man, unable to do anything, look at the way he's whipping his opponent.
Hey, Tommy Rich, hey, he was a former world champion. I know that in the past he was a tough competitor. But of all the guys, now, wait, I've named a lot of guys. Ron Ritchie, I've named him, right?
Yes, sir.
I've named this here Jerry Lawler, I've named him. Tommy Rich, I've named him several times. Ole Anderson, I've named him so many times, I'm tired of saying his name. But not one guy has walked up to you. Not one guy has walked up to you and said, I want to wrestle Ox Baker. Let him on TV one time. Hey, Tommy Rich, you better not have me in there. Ooh, I'd like to beat up on him, Gordon.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm sure you're going to have the opportunity. Perhaps not here on television, but...
Why not on television? Why can't the fantastic... You know, the people out there and all over the land, they would love to see Ox Baker on TV. You know that.
Well, I don't know that, sir. I haven't had any letters requesting to see you on television. perhaps if you started a letter campaign for people writing into me saying they'd like to see you on television, maybe something could come of it.
All right. Hey, I like that idea. Any of you people out there can write, or if you got a neighbor or somebody downtown that can write for you, just say that you'd like to see the fantastic Ox Baker wrestle on TV. And put down the name Ron Ritchie, Tommy Rich, Ole Anderson, Thunderbolt Patterson, Gordon Soley, any of these guys that got a great reputation. I'll get in the ring with them.
I see.
Wait, no, I didn't interrupt you.
All right, sir.
Now, look, you bragged up this Tommy Rich, and look, he's got a guy. This guy shouldn't have went 5 minutes, this guy. He is punishing the guy. Like, hey, Tommy. Oh, Lord. If they would only let me on TV. I know there's a lot of brutality in wrestling. Now, Ox Baker, I could have been a great marbles champion. I could have played Chinese checkers, but I wanted to be a professional wrestler, the best wrestling machine ever. Don't look at me. Don't you dare give me a dirty look. You see this Tommy Rich, he's thinking of me in the back of his mind, and a lot of times, if you think about somebody too much, you get terrified. You walk down the street, you think maybe Ox Baker is following you. You know what I mean? Now, Tommy Rich, you young whippersnapper, you. Oh, I'd love to get nervous. But, no, Gordon said it. I want you people, he said it. I didn't say it. Get yourself a 10-cent stamp, a postcard. Just write down, I want to see Ox Baker on TV, and the guys that I named, one after another. Maybe all the same night. I don't care. I want to see if anybody can take this hard punch and walk up to you and say hello or even talk, because I'll knock them down. I'll tell you that right now, Gordon.
Thank you.
You know my reputation, don't you?
I do indeed. Thank you so very much, Mr.
Oh, you're through talking to me, ain't you?
Well, I would like to. We do have an excellent match going on, and I would like to get back to what I am paid to do, and that's to the commentary on
Well, I'm tired of talking to you anyway.
belly to back suplex, well executed by Tommy Wildfire Rich on Mr. Dale Burnett. Burnett, barely able to power out, did get that shoulder off, however, and that will entitle him to get back to his feet if he can. Burnett with a headbutt. Burnett fires one to the midsection of Tommy Wildfire Rich. Off the ropes, Rich caught again and driven backwards, but he hangs on to those ropes. I'll tell you one thing. Mr. Burnett has taken a tremendous amount of punishment thus far in the match and has come back for more, but now Tommy Wildfire Rich catches him. Rich now down across the forehead of one Dale Burnett. So Mr. Burnett in deeper and deeper trouble. Irish whip into the turnbuckle. The whole ring sort of caved with that one. And it is Burnett down on that ample gluteus maximus, and it is now a neck breaker by Tommy Wildfire Rich. And this may be all she wrote. He manages to kick that shoulder out again. Got the 3 count this time. Just couldn't muster enough to get it. Tommy Rich is indeed the winner. Strong Riders, National Tag Team Champions. And not undeservedly so, I must admit, begrudgingly. They are tough, no question about it. Scott the Hog, Irwin, and Wild Bill Irwin. 2 very, very double tough individuals. And they have run over everybody. Nobody has really stood much of a chance against them. And it's now Mike Starbuck and Darren Smith getting set to move out against him. Rear chinlock takedown with a hammerlock. Nice combination. I see. The Hogs want me to explain that they really know how to wrestle on top of everything else. I have never denied that they didn't know how to wrestle. You don't take 2 men who have achieved the competency that they have in the sport and never say they can't wrestle. That would be ludicrous on my part. They are tremendous wrestlers. I, for one, just don't happen to care much for their philosophy. Their sense of fair play and sportsmanship leaves me a bit cold, if you will. Bottom wrist lock, and it is Randy Barber with a lot of problems. He said, of course, this match is one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Full arm drag and twist now by the Irwins, the Long Riders. Barber tried that time, but it lacked authority. Barber trying to get that leverage going in that top wrist lock. But it's Irwin who holds the height and weight advantage here. Notice Barber gradually losing his balance. Gets that foot planted back, and about the time he did, Irwin drove a knee into his midsection. Caught him in the abdominal wall, took him back to the canvas. High leapfrog. Barber caught him, but brother, it was like hitting a redwood tree. He was the one who was knocked aside. High waistlet takedown now on Darren Smith. Darren Smith meeting the Long Riders for the first time, and I'm sure he was not too pleased with that kind of an introduction. Notice the way the Long Rider keeps the chance free. Kept the full weight of his body across Smith. So Smith, struggling to get up, was expending energy and oxygen into the side of the rib cage. Back of the elbow that took Darren Smith through the canvas. And Mr. Irwin seems to have a bit of a problem in pronouncing my name. That's all right, my friend. Just don't call me late for supper. That's all I ask. Irwin. Good move by Smith. Broken up. Broken up by Hog Irwin. Smashing Smith into the turnbuckle. Long Riders screaming at me to put out a plea for some competition. They're going to get all the competition they want, I can assure you of that. And they are tough, no question about it. They're the tag team champions. But that competition is coming down the road. You think of men like Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson, Tommy Wildfire, Rich and Abdullah the Butcher, just to name a few of the tag team combinations that really could give them some problems. Here you can hear Bill Irwin complaining the fact that Tommy Rich is not here. Well, Tommy Rich had his own match a little bit earlier against a much bigger and heavier opponent and did extremely well. Forearm across the back of the neck now of Randy Barber. Barber in those red trunks in a lot of trouble. Randy Barber ducks away. Oh, brother. He caught that foot right square in the side of the head. And so the Long Riders now beginning to toy with Randy Barber. Barber needs to get over and tag up. Barber caught again. Barber in a lot of trouble here as they try and set him a high. Up on the top ring rope. Watch this one. High vertical suplex. And that almost took down the lights. Count of three. For the National Tag Team Champions, the Long Riders are the winners in this match. We'll take a moment right now to talk about... all right, do we have that piece on Wahoo McDaniel's? Very good. Here's a man who really did a double cross on one Ronnie Garvin. Let's take a look at it right now.
We're here talking to the U.S. Heavyweight Champion, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Our subject, National Heavyweight Champion Ronnie Garvin, and good authority tells us not too long ago you gave the man all he could handle.
That's right. You know, Garvin got a little big for his britches, you know, and he was bragging. He says, you know, anybody would do anything to get that belt. Well, he got slapped on his can right on national TV, got all upset when I took Jim Hart for a partner, for a manager. Well, let me tell you something, Ronnie Garvin. Anywhere, anytime you want to go. I feel that this U.S. heavyweight belt makes me the #1 wrestler in the world today. And I went through a lot to get it, and I expect to have to go through a lot to keep it. Now, I'm not taking anything away from you, Ronnie Garvin. You're a great champion. You're a tough man. You've got a great wrestling background. But the last time we crawled in the ring together, it was far from being a wrestling match, and it was far from being over. And the next time I'm there, I guarantee you I'll finish it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Ronnie Garvin, this man, Wahoo McDaniel's got a tremendous tomahawk chop, but I've heard it from the best. You've got a strong one, too.
Well, I can counter anything he has to offer. You know, I used to have a lot of respect for Wahoo McDaniel, but he's turned on a lot of people, and he's turned on his best friends. Not only here in Georgia, but all over. And Wahoo, I'm going to tell you, you're a liar. Because in the Omni, the last time I fought him, I'm going to tell you, you ran out of that ring. Now, you put up a heck of a fight. I'm not saying you're a coward. I'm not saying you're a nobody, because you're a heck of a man. He was a good football player, and he's a heck of a wrestler. But I'm going to tell you something. I can stand out here and talk all I want, but the best place to prove it is to stand in the ring and do the fighting. You know, talking don't settle nothing. But you step in that ring with me, we're going to settle something. And you challenge me any place, anywhere, well, that's fine with me, because Wahoo McDaniel, I'm not going to turn back from nobody, and not from you, and you're going to have to prove to me that you're a man, because I'm a man from head to toe, and I'm going to prove it to you.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hart, you got something to say? Come on over and say it.
Slap me again. Oh, hope y'all help me.
Slap you?
Boy, that's right. You did, man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
No, never again. Let me tell you something, baby. You're finished. You're through. It's only a matter of time, both of you, baby. Only a matter of time. Just remember that. Only a matter of time, baby.
Keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't come up behind me. Other than that, I don't have to worry too much. I told you before that I made a little promise, and I intend to keep it. I said, when I see you in the ring, I'm going to bury your backside and give you a little bit of a spanking. Don't think I'm joking, because Jimmy Hart, when I see you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I make that promise to you, Bolt, and I made the promise to ourselves.
Ole Anderson is, and Jimmy Hart beating a very hasty retreat indeed. And, well, Ole, he got to you.
No, he didn't get to me. But I tell you, we're going to get to him, and we're going to get to his people. You just watch. You mark my words. Jimmy Hart, you're a marked man, and we're going to put this imprint right on your backside. He says very well. You know, I'm here to back up everything that Ole say. And he's running around with his little tennis shoes on, sticking his nose in everybody else's business. But this is 1984, almost 1985. And things have changed, and we are changing right along with it, and we're going to beat everything.
National heavyweight champion, television champion, moving out against Mark Hill. And I'll tell you what, Roop is very quickly putting some punishment on Mark Hill, no question about it. Roop, as I've said before, is a former Olympian, and Hill has been shaken up rather badly. Roop moving against him once again. And there's the Oklahoma Stampede. And I doubt if Mr. Hill is really going to regain his feet. Well, Roop is going to force him to. Roop brings him up. The pile driver. And there can't be much left of Mr. Hill right now. Roop bringing him back out into the ring. Using the neck breaker after the pile driver. That's pouring salt on an open wound. Count of three. Count of three. And it is all over. It is all over for Mr. Hill. The winner is Bob Roop. And there you hear the music. And now Rip Rogers gets set to move into the ring. All right, Brenda Britton getting set to move out of the ring now. Hustler Rip Rogers getting set to move against Terry Ellis. One fall, television time remaining. Ellis in the pale blue trunks has proven to be a very, very capable journeyman wrestler. And it's Rip Rogers, the Hustler, getting him in the side headlock. Look at Ellis coming away from it. Nice move by Ellis. We'll say hi to our good friends in Ketchikan, Alaska. And my friend John Versacelli around Trenton, New Jersey. Nice to hear from all of these folks. Collar and elbow, Ellis getting the side headlock. Rogers in trouble. Rogers has his hands full right now. Ellis, a deceptively powerful individual, keeps that side headlock. Rogers tried to move with it, but Ellis was a step ahead of him. Scored the hip lock takedown. See Miss Brenda Britton pacing back and forth rather nervously outside the ring. And you can hear the crowd picking up a chant. They want Garvin. Well, Rip Rogers has got his hands full right now with Terry Ellis. But Garvin, of course, Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone. Full arm drag and twist.
1, 2, 3,
By the way, our next videotaping schedule here, I believe, will be January 3rd. And I will stand corrected if that is not accurate, but I do believe that is our next videotaping schedule here at WTBS. And for those of you who would like to come down and see the matches live and in person, we invite you to do so. I'll check with our director on that and make sure that I am correct, but I believe it is January 3rd. There'll be videotaping here at WTVS, Atlanta, Georgia. The phone number, in case you'd care to make reservations in advance, area code 404-961-1649. Area code 404-961-1649. If you're going to be in the Atlanta area, we invite you to come by. Rip Rogers with a lot of problems there, but now has Terry Ellis in a bit of a jackpot. All right, Rip Rogers bringing Terry Ellis up, catches him, a thrust into the throat of Terry Ellis, and that's one thing about Rip Rogers. He'll use those karate or tomahawk chops very, very effectively. Of course, nobody scores with him as well as Wahoo McDaniel. Now, at Rip Rogers, still much in control of the situation now against Terry Ellis. The Hustler totally dominating Ellis in the later stages of this match. Ellis with a good move. Ellis with an excellent move, a rolling reverse. Rogers broke it up, however. Ellis now in a lot of trouble in that turnbuckle. And what Rip Rogers, Hustler Rip Rogers, A full Boston crab. Full Boston crab. Well executed by the hustler Rip Rogers. Quite a victory indeed for Rip Rogers, and the national heavyweight champion for television is with me right now, Bob Roop.
You know, 1984 has been a good year for some people, for some it hasn't. Ted DiBiase couldn't stick around here. He didn't have the stand to last. Barrett Armstrong and Tim Horner had to go somewhere where the competition's not quite as tough. Bud Sawyer thought about coming back, found out was in his way, didn't even try. It's been a good year for me, but it was just a year, as you know, Gordon Soley, and as you people know out there, I started my comeback. 1985 is going to be my year. And let me tell you something. I can't wish you people out there Happy New Year or anything else, because I really don't care. But I'm telling a lot of wrestlers, I'm going to have a happy 1985, and you're going to have a horrible one.
Well.
Wrestling from Georgia.
Thank you so very much, and welcome once again to Championship Wrestling from Georgia. I'm Gordon Soley, your host, and brother, do we have an hour in store for you today. We do have a brand new national television champion. I'd like to introduce him at this time, a man who certainly deserves the honor that has been bestowed upon him by his victory in winning the TV championship, the man with the hands of stone, Ronnie Garvin. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gordon. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year and everybody out there. You know, I'm very proud to be the new television champion. There's a man around here that's been challenging me for weeks. By the name of Ox Baker, he was not allowed to wrestle on TV. Well, today he's going to be wrestling because I've accepted his challenge. You know, he's a big, bad, mean, big individual with quite of a background. He's got a mean heart punch. He's been hurting a lot of people, and he was not allowed to wrestle on TV. Well, today, you're going to have to prove it to me, Ox Baker. We're going to have to step into that ring, and we're going to find out. I'm going to shut you up for good. The best way to do it is to beat him. And, you know, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of money in these titles. There's a lot of money in the tag team battle royals, over the top rope battle royals.
Yes,
a lot of big money.
A lot of big battle royals going on right now.
And I'm very proud to be part of it.
Well, I can certainly understand. By the way, I heard that somewhere along the way, Miss Brenda Britton fell victim to the palms of your hands in a rather resounding spanking.
Well, you know, sometimes a little spanking will cure a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I think they did indeed. There you have it, Ronnie Garvin, the new television champion, and you're going to be defending the title today then against Ox Baker.
That's right, Gordon.
That is something to look forward to. Ronnie Garvin, it's certainly a pleasure to see him as the new national television champion. We've got a match in the ring, so let's go to the ring right now.
Yeah, Gordon Soley, you know, you're out here talking about Ronnie Garvin's going to take on Ox Baker and what a champion he is and how tough he is, what guts he's got. Well, why not Bob Roop? Either he doesn't think I'm qualified or he's afraid of me, one of the two. Now, Garvin, I don't think you're afraid of me, but you should be. As far as qualification, I've defended that belt for 8 months against the toughest in the country. Just one more reason, Garvin. What's it going to take? Half your eyesight, maybe, a crushed leg, something like that? A hospital visit until you put Bob Roop #1 on the list.
Well, all right, there you have it.
Thornton Goalie. I want to say something. I want to say something about this Tommy Rich. You know, I'm tired of hearing all the people say Tommy Rich this, Tommy Rich that, Tommy Rich this. Let me tell you something about Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich is dumber than dogs in my neighborhood, you know. When I just moved into my neighborhood, there were some ranging dogs. They came into my yard. I beat them up and kicked them out of the yard, and they don't come back. But Tommy Rich, he continues to come back after being beat up and beat up. We beat up all of his partners. Name a partner we didn't beat up. We have beat all of his partners, and he keeps coming back. Tommy Rich, you're an ignorant man. You keep messing with us, and you won't even know what man is. You won't know women.
You sound a little nervous to me.
Nervous? We're not nervous. Tommy should be nervous.
Right now,
we're
here's
going to beat him up.
special word.
People out there in Cleveland and Columbus, you've already seen Bob Roop, didn't you, in 1984? You know what I can do, but you people in Mansfield, you people in Wheeling, you people in Toledo, let me tell you something. You haven't had a first-rate look at Bob Roop against somebody like a man I was just talking about, Ronnie Garvin, or a Tommy Rich. There's a lot of people that don't like these guys, and I'm one of them. And I'm one of them that can do something about it.
We're coming on tour. Long Riders, the National Tag Team Champions. And they're getting set to see action now against Mark Hill and Joshua Stroud, an Australian tag team match. Joshua Stroud, by the way. Well, they'll be there shortly, gentlemen. Joshua Stroud is a young man who has just signed on with the Orlando Renegades in the United States Football League. He's an outstanding athlete, wrestles in the off-season, is not terribly experienced in the pro ranks of wrestling, but as you can see, an extremely powerful man. Mark Hill moving out first.
Well, make up your mind here. Let's go, huh?
All right, it's Mark Hill first, moving out against the Long Riders, and the Long Riders very quickly getting a side headlock on Mark Hill.
Come on over here.
Remember, this is 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Wow, what a forearm across the chest. Hill caught with a boot into the chest. And the tag is made. Hog and Wild Bill. And another forearm on Mark Hill, and Mark Hill's got some problems now as he's trying to get it together, and they just continue to... there's nothing fancy about the Long Riders, that's for sure. Just brute power and strength. The tag is made. Joshua Stroud moves in. And Stroud battling his way now as they try to double team him. And Stroud is indeed a powerful individual. Giving away some height, no question about that. But in the strength department, I have a hunch he's right in there with him. Stroud caught again in the midsection. And a series of forearms across the back drives Stroud to his knees. He's back on his feet. And he's battling away for all he's worth. Irish whip off the ropes. Good move by Stroud as he moves up and over his man caught. Stroud brought up into a full body slam. And driven back into the ropes. The tag is made. Stroud trying to keep him tied up, but I don't think he was aware of the tag itself. Side headlock. And they caught him in the throat. Stroud in trouble now. Stroud firing back, fires again to the midsection. And a takedown by Stroud, but look at the way the Long Rider turned that to his own advantage. Got to give the man credit. Stroud circling his man. And it's the Long Rider, one step ahead of him. Stroud driven back against those ropes, trying to hang in there. Leapfrog by Stroud up and over his man. Bottom of the drop kick, and the Long Rider is down. And Stroud charges him again. Good block into the midsection. Another series of blocks into the midsection. And it's Stroud trying to turn things around on the Long Rider. Charged in, but that time was caught.
That's it.
And that caught him right on the side of the jaw. Stroud in a lot of trouble now. And so the Long Riders begin to dominate the situation. Bottom of the knee coming off the rope. And Stroud having a lot of problems now. He has dished out a lot of punishment, but he's taken a lot of punishment. Stroud makes the tag. Mark Hill moves in. Hill firing away with left and right now to the midsection into the jaw. And Mark Hill exploding. Mark Hill scoring effectively, but caught. A forearm across the back, another forearm. But boot to the midsection that drives him back to the canvas. And he drives that flat of the foot right into the chest cavity of Mark Hill. Has him all the way up on that top rope. And Hogg moving in on him now. Brother. Massive strength. A count of three. The count of three. And the unquestioned victors in this match are indeed the Long Riders.
I'm out here talking about Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich, maybe you ought to slap your own self, and you can get some sense slapped into your head. We've slapped you, and you haven't got any sense yet. Tommy Rich, you and Abdullah, we're getting tired of you. We're out riding on our bikes, and we got to look in every car window that goes by to make sure it ain't them guys trying to run us off the road. I come out of my house in the morning, I got to look everywhere because I don't know where Abdullah's going to be. Hey, Tommy Rich. So, Tommy Rich, get Abdullah. Bring your bleached blonde hair to the ring today, right now, in this show, and we'll beat you up in front of everybody. Let's go, right now, let's go. Hey, Abdullah. We don't care. Bring him out on the show. You know they say a right hand, he's a big fat man. Bring him out here. We want him out here.
All right, well, a challenge has been issued. The Long Riders want to face Tommy Wildfire Rich and Abdullah the Butcher here on this hour of Championship Wrestling from Georgia. We'll wait to see if Mr. Rich cares to answer that challenge. I have a hunch he will, however. Tommy Rich would fight a buzzsaw and give it the first 2 rounds. We've got a match in the ring. Let's go to it. Move out against Gerald Finley. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Roop, of course, the former television champion, and somewhat embittered, as we noticed by his earlier comments, about the fact that Ox Baker was getting a chance at that title today and not Bob Roop. Roop very quickly getting a side headlock. By the way, Finley, another outstanding athlete. Finley extremely adept at those aerial drop kicks. But he's going to have to get out of the clutches of Bob Roop first if he's going to be effective at all. Once again, let me reiterate, the referee is Nick Patrick. By the way, I'd like to express my appreciation, too, to the editors and staff of Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the kind comments about yours truly. And may I take a moment to compliment our television crew here for the outstanding job that they do, all of which helps make this program the #1 in the nation, and we're certainly very pleased about that. Roop moves in, collar and elbow once again. Beautiful move by Roop. And, of course, Roop, former All-Army champion, former Olympian. He has an extensive background and was outstanding in the Greco-Roman field. Bottom wrist lock now by Roop on Finley. Be interesting to see which way Roop goes with this. It'd be difficult to go to a lateral drop from the particular way that he has this bottom wrist lock. And look at Finley moving around it, and Roop drives a knee into the kidney area that drops Finley to the canvas once again. Full arm drag and twist into an arm bar over the shoulder and moves back into that bottom wrist lock once again. Roop has really been concentrating on that. Finley again has to turn inside his man. And again, Roop is able to utilize that knee so effectively.
Back him off the rope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back the man up out of the rope.
Referee Nick Patrick warning Roop about his tactics and telling him to let him get off those ropes. All right, into that down wrist lock, and it's again a knee into the side of the rib cage of Gerald Finley. Then Roop connects with one to the side of the head. And Roop now with a forearm across the back. And it's Finley exploding one to the midsection. But Roop just charges right in. Once again, down to a bottom wrist lock. Finley giving away some size here, giving away some weight. But he's got good speed, excellent muscular conformation and definition.
Tired of warning you, Roop. Go watch the fish. What's the choke, ref?
Roop complaining to the referee about Finley's choking. Finley was not choking. He merely had the side of his fist against the throat of Bob Roop, but he was not choking. Roop having more than his share of problems now with Finley, but he drives that knee into the small of the back. And so Finley back on the canvas once again. Roop has him up. Full body slam this time. And Finley coming up very slowly. He's taken a lot of percussions to the spinal column. And those 26 movable vertebrae and the 7 fused have taken a lot of punishment. Roop, another forearm. That across the cervical area of the neck. Once again to the bottom wrist lock. And Roop is so adroit at getting his men tied up early on. Ooh, brother. Finley jammed into that far turnbuckle. And Finley in a lot of trouble now. Beautiful move by Finley. Almost had Roop, and Roop suddenly exploding. Roop caught him with a lariat coming off the rope. Finley driven to the canvas, and Roop closes in on him once again. Roop brings him up. Shoulder breaker. Count of 3. The count of 3. So without question, Bob Roop's excellent usage of the shoulder breaker brings him out as the victor in this match.
See, Gordon, just like I said before, I went out, fight fire with fire. I paid some money, so anytime, anywhere, any place. And you know, Long Riders, you said it right. Let's go on and let's get it over, because I seen you standing out here talking. You the boys looking over your back because you don't know about Abdullah the Butcher. And just like I told you, anytime, anywhere, any place. And Gordon, tell you and all these people right here, Abdullah and me will accept the challenge.
Mistake, Tommy Rich.
All right.
I'm telling you, you're making a serious mistake. You're accepting a challenge, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're just like Ronnie Garvin, man. There's a lot of people out there that don't like you. There's a lot of people who like to make sure you don't come home at night. You know what I mean? They like to, that's it. I'm talking about the future. There's people got plans to put you in the hospital.
So if I somebody don't want to put you out either?
Yeah, but there's nobody that can do it.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, Roop.
I'm looking for a piece of you myself, Rich.
Well, right,
but you got to get by the Long Riders first.
Yeah.
All right, well, that challenge has been accepted, and Hope moving out against Roger Bond and Randy Barber. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. And this should prove to be quite a match indeed. And I see that the Hollywood Blondes have suddenly descended upon the scene.
That's right, Gordon. So the Hollywood Blondes are here on national TV, and I think we deserve, that's right, we deserve a camera to get our faces on national TV, because we are the #1 tag team in all professional wrestling today. And we're after that $50,000. That's right, $50,000 in a tournament. You know, Gordon Sully, with $50,000, I could buy the Golden Boy, the Hustler, and even Brenda Britt and Cadillacs, baby. And $50,000 is going to be the Hollywood Blondes very, very soon, baby. Woo!
Tell you something, everybody, and all the teams. There's only one thing that we like better than money, and that's beating the teams to get to the money. So everybody remember that. I'm sure it's been your pleasure.
Indeed. Well, the Hollywood Blondes making their comments. Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson, and Patterson slipping away from Randy Barber, and Patterson's ready. Moves in on him once again. Barber gets a side headlock, and again, Patterson slips away from him. Thunderbolt locks up with him, collar and elbow. They're up against those turnbuckle, and it's Barber. And all of a sudden, Thunderbolt Patterson, a series of stinging left hands and a hard right. Patterson. Good fireman carry takedown on Roger Bond. Patterson and Ole Anderson, a devastating tag team combination. And, of course, with all the tag team battle royals that are going on around the country, you're bound to see these two involved in them somewhere, that's for sure. Good move by Patterson as Bond, but Bond is into those ring ropes. That forces the break. Patterson looking lean and mean. Hip lock takedown, keeps the side headlock. Patterson just keeps the pressure on him. Notice the way he's exerting full weight and pressure down across the chest of Bond. Now keeps the weight on him, almost pancaking him, and hooks around the waist, keeps the ride going. So Bond has been unable to extricate himself. Now caught on a hammerlock by Patterson. Now Patterson moving that other arm back, underhooks it, and Bond in a lot of trouble.
Come on, Roger.
And they're back into the ropes once again. And the crowd not wanting Patterson to turn him loose, but Patterson locks it up once again. And he makes the tag. And Anderson wasting no time. Tags up and smashes Bond into that turnbuckle. Into the opposite turnbuckle, and Bond is staggered. Full body slam by Ole Anderson. Anderson has him up again. Another full body slam. Anderson and Patterson completely dominating this situation. Off the ropes, and it was Thunderbolt Patterson catching him as Barber started to charge in. It was Anderson cutting him off at the pass. They got the free count. And so the team of Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson are indeed victorious. You see Bob Roop at ringside along with Ox Baker. Baker, the challenger for the National Television Championship in that match, is upcoming momentarily. Here he comes now, the National TV champion, Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone. And you could hear the spirited welcome that he received. And Garvin, wait a minute. Garvin apparently upset over the fact that Roop is at ringside. Wait a minute. I don't know if the camera can get that or not, but Garvin has brought himself a second now. Tommy Wildfire Rich. And so, apparently, seconds will be seconds. All right, one fall. The TV championship on the line. They lock up, and Ox Baker, his first time here on Championship Wrestling from Georgia as a competitor, actively competing. And it's Garvin with a single leg pickup, but had little or no effect on the 6'5", 311-pound Ox Baker. Baker driving that massive arm across Ronnie Garvin. Now, Garvin is a big man. He's 230-some-odd pounds. But, brother, just look at how he is almost dwarfed alongside of Ox Baker. Baker clubbing Garvin time and time again. Garvin scores to the ribcage, scores to the side of the head. But it's Baker continuing to club away. And Garvin has been staggered. Garvin in trouble here. And this may have been a serious mistake by Ronnie Garvin. And Baker is right on top of him once again. Baker, almost gargantuan in his appearance. Garvin scoring effectively with a couple of hands there. Scores again. And Garvin fighting fire with fire. Now gets the front chancery on this massive Ox Baker. Brings him to the canvas. Once they're on that canvas, they're all the same size. And it is Garvin wasting no time in venting his rage on and a forearm into the chest of Ox Baker. Garvin now scoring effectively, stinging right hands. Garvin leads with that right. Leading you to believe that he's a southpaw, but I don't believe he is.
Come on, Baker. Break it now. 1, 2.
Ooh. It's Baker connecting to the midsection, and that one got him over the heart. It might have been all over. Garvin now scores back. Fires away and fires away again. Into those ropes once again. Ox Baker using that massive forearm. Garvin has been able to stay on his feet. And Garvin again shooting out those right jabs. Garvin using a headbutt effectively. Garvin scoring again with a headbutt. And Baker could be in trouble as Garvin explodes with everything that he's got. But Garvin can't put the man down. Garvin staggered Baker again. Got him with a good headbutt, but... Oh, you talk about a monumental battle. A forearm across the chest now of Garvin. And again, Baker pounding away. Massive. Now he's loading it up and went to deliver that Hart punch. But it was Garvin. Got the pinfall. Ronnie Garvin got the pinfall when Baker tried to throw a Hart punch. Garvin ducked to one side. Baker tried to pull himself back. Could not. Lost that momentum. Garvin very quickly took him over for the pinfall. And so Ronnie Garvin retains his television championship. In the ring. And, of course, the challenge has been issued to meet against Tommy Wildfire Rich and Abdullah the Butcher. We're waiting now for Tommy Rich and Abdullah the Butcher to appear in the ring. Well, here's Tommy Wildfire Rich. The challenge is made. You've answered the challenge. Where's Abdullah?
You know, good. I don't know where Abdullah is. I don't have no earthly idea where he's at. Like I said, whether I've got to fight them both or whether I can fight one of them.
Are you nervous, Tommy Rich? Are you nervous? Well, you ought to be nervous. Let me tell you something, baby. You don't have Abdullah anymore. You see what? Can you read? You see this right here? This is a contract. I manage Abdullah the Butcher now because money talks, baby. And I had just a little bit more money than you did, big boy. So how do you like that? You're all by yourself. You are by yourself, Tommy Rich. I made a promise. I made an oath I'd get rid of you, punk. Why don't you read it? Can you read, you big country bumpkin? Can you read it? What does it say? Managed by Jimmy Hart, Abdullah the Butcher. How do you like that? How do you like that? You better take your hands off of me. Abdullah, you better take your hands off of me.
Oh, brother. Ooh. Abdullah the Butcher catching Tommy Wildfire Rich from behind. Smashing Rich down on that chair, and Tommy Wildfire Rich literally being...
That's the greatest day of my life. That's the greatest day of my life, baby. Look at him. Look at Tommy Rich now. You know, I told everybody 3 months ago that I was going to get rid of Tommy Rich. And now this is my promise. Look, now shouting at fierce. Garvin's not supposed to be in this match.
3-on-1 certainly isn't very fair either.
Come on, Abdullah. Come on, Abdullah, bust him, baby. Hit him, Abdullah, bust him. Wipe him out, baby. Finish him off. Get rid of him once and for all. Look at him. That's the greatest day of my life. The man from Zane, 400 pounds. You know, he's going to be my new bodyguard. I've tried to hire a lot of rascals, and I've hired a lot of rascals, boy, Tony. But none of them will ever do what I want them to do, so I fired them all. But right now, Abdullah the Butcher, he's my main man. I don't trust Abdullah. He doesn't trust me. But we've got one thing in common, and that's money. I don't care how much money it takes. I'll get all the money in the world to keep this man happy. Look at him, Abdullah.
You know, Mr. Hart, you are indeed a depraved individual, sir.
Let me tell you something. Look at him, look at him. Abdullah the Butcher. Look at him, the animal, baby. The animal, Abdullah.
Well, all I can say is that there's been a lot of carnage in that ring, and right now people are rendering assistance to Ronnie Garvin, to Tommy Wildfire Rich.
You want to talk to it? We want to talk to you, too.
NWA, talking about that fine. Take a look at this face right here. Does it look like it cares about fines? No, we don't. Tommy Rich, that fine doesn't bother us. We're going to take care of you.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, boys. You're going to get fined. Come on over here.
Mr. Tough Guy. Oh, yeah, take your watch off. We'll break that thing. Not only you, we'll break your watch.
Come on. Come on, boys.
Yeah, tough guy. Tough guy. That's right. Hold it back. You better hold it back. We'll beat him up. Then we'll beat you up. Hey, you in the suit. Tell the teacher, get out of here. You in the suit. Take him out of here. 5 or 6 get out of here.
Get him out of here. They'll get fined. Hey, listen up. Now, you know, we want to settle down here. These people out here, you know, I suppose you get tired of people coming out here yelling.
Now, right now, here's a special word.
A special word just a minute ago to tell all the people where we go. We go all over the place. We go up wherever we want. Hog, where do we go?
We go to Huntington, Saginaw, Columbus, Dayton. We go wherever the best are going because we are the best. How about that, Mr. Roop?
Well, fine, but what's been happening here is designed to keep people from getting at each other. Designed for real tough stuff. But these places that you people just saw, Huntington, all these different places, there won't be fines, and we won't be held back there. You're going to see some pain.
There's the bell. Donovan, the golden boy, in the golden trunks. We got against Bond in the black trunks, and Bond very quickly trying to get some leverage there. Donovan, a good back out. Donovan, beautiful wing over. All right, Bond moves in again. Bond's aggressive. They're collar and elbow, and again it's Donovan gaining some advantage. And a good takedown by Donovan as he simply outpowered his man that time. Drop toe hold by Donovan. Float up on the body. The full arm drag and twist. Fireman carry takedown on Roger Bond. Donovan has been very much the aggressor, very much in control of the situation. Donovan caught him, good forearm across the back of the rib cage. Donovan catching him once again, being warned by the referee, however, to leave the hair alone. Snap mirror that takes Bond back to the canvas. Donovan has been totally aggressive throughout this match, staying right after his man. Bottom wrist lock, and he winged it as he did a lateral drop and takedown. And as Bond tried to slip away, Donovan was on him once again. Donovan's on him like a duck on a June bug.
1, 2, 3. Hey, get off the hair. 1, 2, to watch it, Donovan.
Donovan has him up. Full slam and caught him on that arm. And so Bond has got more troubles now than he certainly bargained for. A couple of times across the chest. And again, Donovan right after him. Donovan moving against the hammerlock. Roger Bond, who can move exceedingly well. Having some problems here against Chick Donovan, the golden boy. Into the ropes. Referee Nick Patrick calling for the break. Donovan pulls him back into the center of the ring, keeps a full arm drag and twist. Forearm into the side of the rib cage, another forearm into the side of the rib cage. Bond now trying to reverse the situation. Donovan starts putting the boots to him.
Get him off the rope, Donovan. Back it up. I'll get him off the rope. 1, 2.
Bond having a lot of problems here. Donovan catches him with an elbow once again. Into a lateral press. Well, Bond powered out. So Donovan hasn't got him as tired out or as weakened as he's not. Another full body slam by Donovan, then down across those pectoralis major muscles. All right, he's got that arm securely tied up now, and so Roger Bond, again, who has spent much of this match on the mat. Bond Bond still trying to slip away from it, trying to get to a ring rope if he can. And you can see he got that foot over the rope once again.
4, break it up, kids. Back it up. 1, 2, 3. Now back it up. Keep him off the rope.
Bond trying to slip away from it, and Chick Donovan. You know, Bond is a fine competitor, but right now he's just being outclassed by Donovan. Donovan staying in a totally aggressive mode.
What do you say, Roger? Come on, Roger.
Bond not conceding.
Get off the hair. Watch.
And now Donovan trying to embarrass him, rubbing his face in the mat. A forearm that puts Bond back to the canvas.
Get off us. 1, 2, 3. Get him off the rope.
Irish whip. Caught him.
Keep the fist open, Donovan.
And the referee warning Donovan to keep that fist open. It's hard to tell whether he caught him with the inside of the fist or with a closed fist. Donovan caught twice in the midsection, a third and fourth time in the midsection now.
Get him off the rope. Get off the rope, Donovan.
Donovan took the best that Roger Bond had to offer and came right back for more. Brought him up into a vertical suplex. And again, Bond was able to slip away from it. Again, into the ropes. And so Roger Bond has really been using those ropes as an ally during much of this match. Full arm drag and twist again. Bond trying to reverse it, does reverse it, and it's Donovan reversing it. A bottom wrist and hammerlock.
Come on, Roger.
So Bond, and a good back out by Donovan. Good block as Bond tried to bring him up for a full body slam, and Donovan to the back out, and now down. And it is Bond trying to slip free. Donovan into a lateral press. Bond is able to power away.
Get off the hair, kids. Back him up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back it up, Donovan.
Good block by Bond, and Bond scores with a hard right hand that staggers Donovan. Donovan could be in trouble here, and it's Donovan catching him in the chest with a boot. A well-placed size 10 that... and he's gone for a Swedish cravat. He's gone for a Swedish cravat, and that is a submission hold coming down on either side of the neck on the pressure points. That's a Swedish cravat, and extremely well executed by Chick Donovan. And that can come across that carotid artery as well and cause unconsciousness. That's it. The referee calling for the bell as Donovan has put Roger Bond away using the Swedish cravat. Very special matches upcoming, ladies.
Not just what's upcoming, it's what's already happened. I was really thrilled to be watching and see Ronnie Garvin come out here. And a couple guys go, no, 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 Ronnie. Other guys, the long riders, calling him names to his face. Same thing with Tommy Rich. He's got enough egg on his face, making an omelet the size of the state of Georgia. Well, I'm saying, don't worry about finding people. Don't worry about holding people back. Just let them get in the ring. Let them get out here in the ring or anywhere in the country that we go and wrestle. Get in the ring. Forget about the fines and forget about people to help you. Just come out and prove how tough you are. That's what I've been doing for the last year. That's what I'm going to do for this next year. And I guarantee you when the year's over, there won't be one person out there that's not going to say, when they're talking about the toughest man they know, that the name Bob Roop isn't going to be up at the top of the list. Ronnie Garvin, maybe you're showing a little sense if you let some people hold you back. But let me tell you, you being held back, it makes you look real, real bad. It doesn't make you look like the national television champion. When I wore that title for 8 months, you didn't see me held back by anybody. You didn't see me backing up from anybody. All you saw me do was take it to people. I gave you 6 or 7 chances. You got good on the last one, but I'm going to take that belt back from you. I guarantee it.
NWA. A new depth.
Well, let me just say this right now. Suspensions and fines. I paid everybody's fine. My fine, the long rider's fine, but let me tell you, Abdullah the Butcher, I can't even believe it's just been suspended. Let me tell you something. I know some big people in some big places, and Abdullah, don't you dare lose any sleep because I'll have you back with Jimmy Hart in no time. Now, I want everybody to see all over the world how we made a fool out of Wildfire Tommy Rich. Have you got a little piece of video right here?
Well, let's
Show this video.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take a look at some
Tommy Rich here.
deceit and duplicity that is almost unmatched. Let's take a look at what happened last week. All right, the Long Riders are in the ring, and, of course, the challenge has been issued to meet against Tommy Wildfire Rich and Abdullah the Butcher. We're waiting now for Tommy Rich and Abdullah the Butcher to appear in the ring. Well, here's Tommy Wildfire Rich. The challenge is made. You've answered the challenge. Where's Abdullah?
You know, Gordon, I don't know where Abdullah is, but I don't have no earthly idea where he's at. Like I said, whether I've got to fight them both or whether I can fight one of them.
Are you nervous, Tommy Rich? Are you nervous? Well, you ought to be nervous. Let me tell you something, baby. You don't have Abdullah anymore. You see what? Can you read? You see this right here? This is a contract. I manage Abdullah the Butcher now because money talks, baby. And I had just a little bit more money than you did, big boy. So how do you like that? You're all by yourself. You are by yourself, Tommy Rich. I made a promise. I made an oath I'd get rid of you, punk. Why don't you read it? Can you read, you big country bumpkin? Can you read it? What does it say? Managed by Jimmy Hart, Abdullah the Butcher. How do you like that? How do you like that? You're going to take your hands off of me. Abdullah, you don't take your hands off of me.
Oh, brother. Ooh. Abdullah the Butcher catching Tommy Wildfire Rich from behind. Smashing Rich down on that chair, and Tommy Wildfire Rich literally being...
That's the greatest day of my life. That's the greatest day of my life, baby. Look at him. Look at Tommy Rich now. You know, I told everybody 3 months ago that I was going to get rid of Tommy Rich. And now this is my promise. Look, now shouting at finish. Garvin's not supposed to be in this match.
3-on-1 certainly isn't very fair either.
Come on, Abdullah. Come on, Abdullah. Bust him, baby. Hit him, Abdullah. Bust him. Wipe him out, baby. Finish him off. Get rid of him once and for all. Look at him. That's the greatest day of my life. The man from Suzanne, 400 pounds. You know, he's going to be my new bodyguard. I've tried to hire a lot of wrestlers, and I've hired a lot of wrestlers, boy, Tony. But none of them will ever do what I want them to do, so I've hired them all. But right now, Abdullah the Butcher, he's my main man. I don't trust Abdullah. He doesn't trust me. But we've got one thing in common, and that's money. I don't care how much money it takes. I'll get all the money in the world and keep this man happy. Look at him, Abdullah.
You know, Mr. Hart, you are indeed a depraved individual, sir.
Let me... Wasn't that great? Wasn't that great? I promise you, Tommy Rich, his time's running out, Gordon Soley. His time's running out. Sooner or later, we're going to get to it. I'm going to have reinstated back. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to have Abdullah Butcher reinstated. I promise you that. And I'll pay everybody's fines. Let me ask you this. Why wasn't Richie fined for jumping in the ring a while ago? Why wasn't those guys fined? Tell me, huh? I'll tell you why. Because there's conspiracy against Jimmy Hart and the First Family, but we shall overcome. Right now, Bob Roop, look at him, baby. Golden medal Olympic winner right here. One of the greatest professional athletes in the world today. The people should have more respect for this man. He's got a shot right now at who? Mr. Wildfire Tommy Rich. And the winner does what? He gets a title shot at Mr. Garvin. Is that right? I use the word Mr. very, very loosely. I can't wait, Tommy Rich. You country bumpkin. You country bumpkin. I'm going to sit right here and watch this match, baby.
All right, I'll tell you what. It's Tommy Wildfire Rich moving into the ring.
You're finished, baby. You're finished.
He's getting set to move out against Bob Roop. And the winner of this match does indeed get a chance at Ronnie Garvin and the television championship.
Look at him. Tommy Rich is scared to death. Look at him, man. Look at him. The sweat's running off his forehead like Niagara Falls. Look at him.
The inane rattlings of Jimmy Hart. Wildfire Rich hurtled into that turnbuckle. And it's Roop really closing in on Rich now. But Rich scores a reversal there. Catches into a high backdrop.
Watch him, Bob. Watch him, Bob.
And as Roop comes crashing down, it's Rich rolling to one side. Rich now with a beautiful hip lock takedown.
That was not. He pulled him by the hair of the head. Tommy Rich just grabbed Bob Roop's hair right there. You know it, Gordon Soley. Look at him.
Well, your ocular observations differ from mine considerably.
You know, that's why you wear glasses and I don't, Gordon Soley. I've got 20/20 perfect vision, baby, and I saw him pull his hair.
Well, all I can say is that Mr. Tommy Rich is not one to pull hair or take illegal opportunities, although in some cases against a man like Bob Roop, I couldn't say that I would blame him.
Let me tell you something. Against Bob Roop, he better do everything he can to win the match because, like I said, Bob, look at this. Look.
Beautiful cross body block by Tommy Wildfire Rich.
Quick count by the referee, man. Roop, you better watch your shoulders. There's a quick count by the referee. Watch out, baby. I'm telling you, this is a conspiracy against Jimmy Hart, Bob Roop, the Long Riders, Abdullah the Butcher, everybody. And I'm telling you that, Gordon. You watch this match right here. Watch this.
All right, Wildfire keeping the side headlock. All right, they're into the ropes.
He's going to break the hold. Well, he kept him in at 4 more seconds right there.
All right, Roop back on his feet now. Rich circling him, watching him carefully. They close in, collar and elbow, and it's Roop.
Good move.
Shooting a full arm dragon twist, and it's oh, that was a forearm.
You got to be kidding me, man. That was a fist right there, Gordon. You saw it.
No, I hate to differ with you, my friend, but that was definitely a forearm. And it is Tommy Wildfire Rich keeping the pressure on Bob Roop. Full arm dragon twist as Roop driven to one knee.
The point of the elbow right there. That's illegal. The point of the elbow. Am I right or wrong?
That was the back of the elbow.
The back of the elbow? That was the point of the elbow, I'm telling you. But that's okay, baby. Look at Roop now. He's got it right there. Beautiful. Beautiful move. Beautiful, Bob. You got it, baby. Beautiful.
Roop driving a knee into the midsection of Tommy Wildfire Rich. Drops him back to the canvas once again.
Roop's in the best condition of his life, baby. He's always ready, always ready. Look at him.
Keeps that full arm drag and twist, and it is
Look, the
Rich.
point of the boot. Point of the boot. Tommy Rich used the point of the boot right in the stomach of Bob Roop right there. Tell me, did he not?
It looked like the top of the boot.
The top. You know, you're unbelievable. What do you mean the top of the boot? That was the point of the boot, man. Are you watching the same match I'm watching? Evidently you're not. Now watch this match.
It's Bob Roop backing up into the turnbuckle now. Has that
Look,
foot
he's
up
holding
on the ring
He's
rope.
holding the break. That's
And
what it
on
is.
the break.
Hey, and it was a legal elbow, the forearm.
It was on the break.
But it was on the break. You know how? Because Tommy Rich held his arm on the break. That's why. What would you do? Huh? What would you do, Gordon Sullivan? There you go. Working over. That's right, baby. Good. Right now, baby.
Beautiful headbutt there by Tommy Wildfire
Low.
Rich.
Don't you think it was a little low?
Caught him right about midsection.
Picked up a stop in the corner, baby. You know it was. Look how he's using the fist. Look at Tommy Rich using the fist.
Irish whip into the turnbuckle, and Roop's in trouble now. Catches
Tommy Rich is in trouble. See, that's your problem, baby. You're prejudiced out here. You want Tommy Rich to win, don't you? Why don't you tell everybody right here that's who your favorite is, right?
neckbreaker by Bob Roop has Rich in a whole heap of trouble now.
Little encouragement there. Come on. There you go. Beautiful.
Tommy Wildfire Rich battling with Bob Roop, the winner to get a shot at Ronnie Garvin, and it's Rich.
That's it. That's it. You got him now, Bob. Come on, baby. You got him now, Bob.
Caught in a standing guillotine, the abdominal stretch.
You got him now, baby. Nobody's going to get out of that. Beautiful, Bob. You got him, baby.
All right, it is
Over, baby.
Tommy Wildfire Rich, and he's really having those muscles pulled, but the referee warning Roop now about making... And a good move by Tommy Rich as he reverses it.
He pulled the straps. He pulled the guy's straps. He pulled Bob Roop's straps until he reached and he got the position on him. I'm telling you, Gordon Soley.
Beautiful reversal.
Watch him. He pulled his straps.
Excellent reversal by Tommy Wildfire Rich. Has got Roop.
Beautiful. Good move, Bob. Grab his hair. Beautiful move right there. That's how you fight fire with fire. I'm tired of watching Tommy Rich keep this whole match, man. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Rich has been staggered now as he was jammed back into that turnbuckle once again. Roop connects with a hard right hand. That was a closed
I
fist.
think that was an open hand, Gordon Soley.
And the referee warning him about keeping that fist open.
Come on,
A
referee.
single
Wake
count.
up, man.
Rear chin lock now by Bob Roop. As Tommy Wildfire Rich possibly in trouble here.
He is in trouble. Come on, give it up, Rich. Give it up. Oh, beautiful move. Beautiful. It's over now, baby.
High vertical suplex executed by Bob Roop. And Rich taking a lot of percussion. And again, Rich powers out before the count.
He's got arthritis of the right hand or something, man. He's too slow. I can't believe this. Come on, Roop. Come on, you got him.
Neck breaker again. Well executed neck breaker, and it's Bob Roop and Tommy Wildfire Rich, and this battle is really intensifying now. An Irish whip off the rope. A beautiful flying drop kick now by Tommy Wildfire Rich. Rich connecting with a hard right hand and the elbow. What do they got here? They've got Tommy Rich's jacket, the Long Riders.
Come on, Bob.
And Rich said, ooh, Rich caught with a headbutt right in the midsection. And it's Roop getting the pinfall.
Beautiful, Bob, beautiful.
Roop gets the pinfall, but it's Tommy Wildfire Rich scoring with a very effective right hand.
Ronnie Garvin, baby, beautiful. Congratulations. Super, baby. Super.
Very good, very good. Very good, What?
You know, I probably know Bob Roop as well as anybody around here, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I don't like him, not one bit. But what happened out there, nothing was illegal. There's nothing I can do about it. I think it's a shame. I know it's a shame, but there's nothing I can do about it, and I have to award the match to Bob Roop.
Tommy Rich ain't seen the rest of the Long Riders.
That's right. That means I'm the #1 contender to go after that title that Garvin is making a mockery of. Nick Patrick, you hated to give it to me, didn't you? You hated to give it to me. But like he said, there wasn't technically anything wrong. A little bit of psychological outside work, and it worked. And the main man won, Bob Roop.
Well, I would assume that, well, I certainly concur with what Nick Patrick had to say, rather, that there wasn't much he could do about that situation or that circumstance. But Bob Roop, he gets the victory. I would still say unofficially that Tommy Wildfire Rich would have to be classified as the #1 contender, but officially, that does make Bob Roop the #1 contender for that national television championship currently held by Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone. The psychological ploy of the Long Riders and Tommy Rich's jacket, apparently all of it set up and established by Bob Roop previous to going out for that match, and it was just enough of a distraction to have Tommy Rich lower his guard momentarily, and that's all it took for that 3 count. Of course, that could happen to anybody. Right now, though, here's a very special word. NWA Wrestling on tour in January. Tonight in Columbus, Ohio at the Fairgrounds. The 17th in Pittsburgh. Side of the ring, they are the National Tag Team Champions. Getting set to move out against Gerald, Finley, and Terry Ellis. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Hog and Wild Bill. A tough combination. There's the bell, and very quickly, the Long Riders move out against Terry Ellis, and they waste no time at all on Ellis. And, again, the referee immediately calling for a break as Ellis was into the ring ropes. Plus, it appears that he is obviously choking his man. Keep the side headlock. The Long Riders, the National Tag Team Champions. Ellis. Thank you, gentlemen. I think I'll pass on that opportunity to get in the ring. And so it is Finley moving in. And Finley caught right in the pit of the stomach the minute he started to move on his man. Irish whip on Finley, caught with an elbow across the... well, that was well within the parameters of the sport. Snap mare and a rear chin lock. Finley trying to get back to his feet now. Once again, the tag is made. These long riders are big, they're vicious, and they're an extremely well-schooled team. Well-oiled machinery, no question about it. They have a knack of keeping their opponent close to their own quarter. Forearm across the back of Finley. Finley staggered and blocked before he could get over and make the tag with Terry Ellis. Finley fires back. Finley with a headbutt now that staggers the long rider, and he staggered all the way back, but he catches him coming in. So the long rider and a good headbutt into the midsection of the long rider. Another hard right hand and another headbutt that drives the long rider back. So Finley may have something going for him here. Another forearm into the chest. And as Finley was charging in that time, the long rider drove a knee and either belt line or just below catches him across the chest. The tag is made. Again, Finley was blocked from getting over to make the tag. And so the long riders continue to dominate the situation. Finley in a lot of trouble now as these long riders are just... and Finley does fire back with the right hand, makes the tag with Terry Ellis. Ellis moving in. Wait a minute. Tommy Wildfire Rich trying to get into the ring. Tommy Wildfire Rich trying to get into the ring, and they're holding him back. Brian Adidas, Ron Ritchie, and Ole Anderson, and pulling Tommy Wildfire Rich away from the situation. And now Ralph Freed has come out there. Ellis in trouble. And it's... Well, as we learned last week, Championship Wrestling from Georgia is putting its foot down on some of the tactics of some of these competitors. And Tommy Wildfire Rich wanted a piece of the long riders just then, but was successfully blocked by Ron Ritchie, Brian Adidas, and wait a second. Rich has made it in there. And it's Rich pounding away on the long riders. Rich paying him back. And we've got absolute bedlam and chaos going on. Thunderbolt Patterson and Ole Anderson in there now. And they got Bill Irwin now. Bob Roop trying to make it in. And it's Tommy Wildfire Rich pounding away on Wild Bill Irwin. And it is Scott Irwin trying to get in there. And Tommy Wildfire Rich. Well, we've got to get some kind of order restored. But right now, we've got absolute chaos and mayhem going on. We'll get order restored. We'll be right back. We'll be back in just a moment. NWA Wrestling on tour in January, beginning tonight in Columbus, Ohio at the Fairgrounds. The 22nd in Baltimore, Maryland at the Civic Center. The 23rd in Altoona, Pennsylvania, the Joppa Mosque. The 24th in Marion, Ohio at the Coliseum. The 25th in Cincinnati, Ohio at Cincinnati Gardens. The 26th in Huntington, West Virginia, the Memorial Fieldhouse. The 27th in Troy, Ohio at Hobart Arena. The 28th in Lansing, Michigan, Civic Center. The 29th, Saginaw, Michigan, the Civic Center.
But somebody, you come from behind. You'll get your
gone.
Put it in one
See you next week and tell them so long. Welcome to Championship Wrestling from Georgia, where every seat is indeed a ringside seat. You'll see all the action as it occurs. We do have a new television champion, and that man is Bob Roop. I want to take a moment now to talk to the national heavyweight champion, the man with the hands of stone, Ronnie Garvin.
How you doing, Gordon? It's a pleasure to be here, and I'd like to say hello to all the fans. I understand today I'm supposed to wrestle Bob Roop.
No, I don't.
Well, that's why I'm here for, Gordon. I want to wrestle Bob Roop because it was my understanding last time that Bob Roop was going to wrestle me. Now there's some changes. He's the television champion, but I think I still should wrestle him to get a chance to get it back.
Well, yeah, I understand that, and but from what I heard, the rumble that I heard just before we went on the air is that Mr. Roop
Excuse me, Gordon Soley. So you and Ronnie Garvin sitting out here speculating, guessing, thinking, and assuming anything. Let me tell you what's going to happen. First of all, as you said earlier, I am the TV champion. I've done what I said I was going to do. Now, before I won this back, and since I've won it back, I talked to a few authorities. And there's no more that's defending this title every night. I only have to defend it every 30 days. Ronnie Garvin, you can go climb a tree and bark at the moon as far as I'm concerned. If you think you're going to get a match with me today, forget it. Now, you got a match. You got a guy here named Ron Starr. Let's see how you do with him. If you do well with him, if you can beat him up, he's a real tough guy. If you can beat him up, maybe I'll give you a chance. But I'm the one that's deciding now who I fight.
I find it somewhat disappointing that you're not going to wrestle Mr. Garvin.
Well, he had his chance and he blew it. Hey, Tommy Rich, you're looking pretty good out there. Got your hair cut, lost some weight. Looks like you've been in the gym. I hope you're getting tough.
I'm getting tough, Ruth, for one reason. You got something I want, and it's right there in your hands, brother.
This is where it's going to stay. Don't get out of line, Rich. You might have wondered why I didn't jump in your match. Like, in the past, I've done a couple things like that. Well, I don't need to anymore because I won this title right out front, and I'm picking and choosing. Now, you said a moment ago, I overheard your comment that I'm stacking the deck in my favor. Well, I've got some contracts with you, Tommy.
You're the number one contender for Flair, and in order for me to get a shot, I got to go through you and take that title, Ruth. Whatever I come back to Georgia for one thing, that's to get Flair. Whether it's you, it don't matter who it is. Right now, you're the national TV champion. They say I got to go through you. Well, that's who I'm going through, Ruth.
Okay, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Right now, here's a special word. With a 10-minute time limit now, Gerald Finley in the orange trunks going out against Ron Starr. And I might point out an interesting situation with Mr. Starr because he is scheduled to wrestle twice on this hour of championship wrestling. And I'm going to ask him over immediately after this match, win, lose, or draw. I want him over here so I can talk to him and find out exactly what his intentions are. Wow, brother, did he drive that into the abdominal wall of Gerald Finley. Ron Starr, deep double underhook. And trying to set Finley up for a high suplex. Got him. And that may be off good. No, sir. Finley powers up before the count. Forearm and then a chop into the chest, and Starr wasting no time. He is all over it. Finley in a good move. In behind his man, a good rolling reverse. Starr was able to break it up, however. Starr now with a snap mirror. Finley back to the canvas. And now it's Starr driving a foot into the chest. Finley, a headbutt to the midsection, to the abdominal wall. Starr retaliates with hard right hand. Rips that knee brace across the eyes of Gerald Finley. Finley, single leg pickup now, inside step over. And it is... Finley coming up rather slowly now. And he's caught again with a good solid forearm. Let me take a moment, too, to issue my personal congratulations to Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. They are the new National Tag Team Champions, having defeated the Long Riders, and our congratulations to them, and I'm sure that comes as good news to each and every one of you who are viewing right now. Ron Starr ripping across the eyes of Gerald Finley. And a forearm into the chest of Finley once again. And a forearm across the back. Finley in a good rolling reverse. May have him here. 1, 2. No, sir. Near fall. Near fall for Gerald Finley. Finley, a tremendous athlete. Ron Starr, by the way, has an impressive background in amateur athletics. And since the last time I've seen him, he's bulked up. I would say he's about 20 pounds heavy. Good double leg dive. Starr was able to break it up once again, however. Overhooking the head. And it was Starr setting with a high vertical suplex. Finley powers out before the 3 count. Starr taking some shortcuts here. He is bulked up. He has picked up a lot of upper body contour and definition. Up and over his man and clubbed him with a hard right hand to the side of the jaw. Put Finley back to the canvas. And it's Starr back with the front chancery now on Gerald Finley. So Finley's got himself a real problem here. All right, it was Starr trying for a pinfall that time. And good move, a good reversal here by Finley as he gets the hammerlock now on Ron Starr. And Starr's got himself some problems as Finley moving aggressively now on Ron Starr. This may be a turning point in the match for Gerald Finley as Finley brings him up a full body slam into a lateral press. Starr able to power him off before the count, however. And as Finley moved in, he left that abdominal wall exposed, and so did Starr. And it's Finley retaliating. Starr could be in trouble here on the ropes, and it's Finley. Trying to move him off. A reversal by Starr. Caught him with a knee coming off, and it's Starr now. Moving back into control. Going for the Russian leg sweep. Well executed. Lateral float over. Count of three, and so Ron Starr, using the Russian leg sweep, is the victor. Let's take a moment right now to talk to Mr. Ox Baker, and you apparently have something on your mind.
You know, Ronnie Garvin is talking about wrestling Bob Roop. We're right on nationwide TV. You embarrassed the fantastic Ox Baker. Garvin, they call you the purdy boy. I wonder how purdy you'd be if I take this shaving cream and put all over your head and snip that hair off your body. If I shave your back, your arms, I'd shave him bald. You cannot embarrass Ox Baker on TV. Ronnie Garvin, somewhere, somehow, I'm going to shave you. I'm going to get even with you, Ronnie Garvin.
Well, all right, he says he's going to get even. Why, may I ask, are you wrestling twice today, sir?
I'll tell you why I'm wrestling twice, Mr. Soley. You're looking at a 2-time world junior heavyweight champion. You're looking at a man that defeated the most penalized player in the National Hockey League, and you're looking at the man that's going to defeat Ronnie Garvin right here today. Bring you on out, Garvin. I'm ready for you.
Thank you so very much. Right now, here's a very special word.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's Baltimore or Cincinnati. It doesn't matter to me whether it's Troy or Marion, Ohio, Saginaw, or Lansing, Michigan. You heard Tommy Rich out here a few minutes ago talking about he's going to go through me. Well, he better practice for me by running his head into a brick wall, because that's what he's going to run into when he comes up against me. I took this title from a real tough man, Ronnie Garvin. Well, I proved I was tougher than him. Rich, you or anybody else, you're not going through Bob Roop. Bet on it.
All right, Garvin in the ring now. Nick Patrick. All right, we lock up collar and elbow, and it is Garvin very quickly moving into Ron Starr. And, boy, you talk about two men with tremendously high intensity. We've got it here. All right, Ron Starr gets a side headlock now on Ronnie Garvin. Hip lock takedown. Garvin goes for the head scissors. Side headlock and back into a head scissors by Ronnie Garvin. Back into the turnbuckle. And Starr exploding with hard left and right, using that closed fist. Ooh, an Irish whip, and Garvin colliding head-on with that turnbuckle. High backdrop by Ronnie Starr on Ron Garvin into a lateral press. Garvin, the man with the hands of stone, powers out, and it's Ron Starr back now with a rear chin lock. Say hi to all the good folks in Meadville, Pennsylvania. And a speedy recovery to Ellie Davies. Side headlock now by Starr, and Garvin would like to get away from that if he can. And he does. He inverts that very, very nicely. Good counter by Garvin. Single leg pickup. Starr back to the basics. Full body scissors now by Garvin on Ron Starr. And so, Mr. Starr has some problems breathing. And Starr now into the solar plexus of Ronnie Garvin, and Garvin turning that around to his own advantage. And Garvin now on either side of the throat. That was not a choke. Garvin an open chop into the throat, another open chop, a third open chop, and Starr fires back. Starr catches him again and again, and Garvin has been staggered backwards. Garvin comes back with a headbutt, and the man with the hands of stone connects with the left hand. A boot to the head of Ron Starr puts him down, and Garvin. Full floating press. Rear chin lock. Ronnie Garvin keeping the rear chin lock on Ron Starr. Upending Garvin, and they're into those ropes, and the referee now calling for the break, but it is Starr trying to take full advantage of that situation. And Starr being warned about his tactics. Garvin coming back to his feet, and Starr's right after him, ripping across with that knee pad. Irish whip. And it's Starr catching him, a forearm into the chest, drops into the canvas once again. Ronnie Garvin powers out of it, though, before the count. And it is Starr. Caught in the throat, and it is Garvin now. An open chop into the throat, another open chop into the throat that has Starr in trouble. Starr has been rocked. Irish whip, and it is Starr in a lot of trouble on that bottom rope. And Garvin moving in cautiously, catches him a boot to the head. Lateral press, but it was Starr able to power out before the count. Again, Starr able to get those shoulders off the mat before the count. So Ronnie Garvin now is going to have to try and hook the arm with the leg, which he has done. Trying to maintain total pressure on him now. All right. Ronnie Garvin has himself in the position here. He can't quite go to the crossbow from here. Let's see what he's able to do. Well, his strategy was to use a percussion across the chest. Another percussion into the chest of Ron Starr. Bear in mind now that Starr has already wrestled once. And he is out there taking the very best that Ronnie Garvin's got to offer. And coming right back for more, although those two headbutts put him down, and Garvin comes down, and Starr rolls to one side. And so it is very definitely Starr trying to take control of the situation here. Garvin back to his feet. Starr coming back up, the national heavyweight champion. And they collide at that time. And both men in Daysville right now. Both men have been staggered. Garvin, the first one up, moves in, and it's Garvin, a chop across the side of the jaw. Another one into the throat, one to the midsection, another one to the side of the rib cage. Garvin, the man with the hands of stone, delivering those stones now. Wait a second. Wait a second. Bob Roop just charged in there after Ronnie Garvin. The referee calling for the bell. The referee calling for the bell as they're 2-on-1 on Ronnie Garvin. And referee Nick Patrick trying to get law and order restored here. And Garvin in a world of hurt as it's Ronnie Starr and Bob Roop against Ronnie Garvin. Hold on. Ron Ritchie and Brian Adidas just charged the ring, along with the Italian Stallion, and that clears things out. Ronnie Garvin back on his feet. And so, for outside interference, Ronnie Garvin wins via disqualification.
Ronnie Garvin, you know I want to cut your hair, you little runt. You come up there and take a couple punches upside the head. You're not tough enough for Rock Picker. I'm going to shave your head. I'm going to embarrass. You're just a little runt, a little pig fish. You call yourself the buzzsaw. Garvin, you've never felt this here hard punch on TV. You little sawed-off runt. You ain't going to do...
Wait a minute. What have we got going on here? Ox Baker charging into the ring against Ronnie Garvin, and Garvin exploding. And so is Ox Baker. Ox Baker, 6'5", 311 pounds. And here's 6 going here. Forget about the rules, regulations, and what have you. And again, it's Bob Roop charging the ring. And wait a minute. Brown Star has just gone over there. And Ronnie Garvin. They've got Garvin. And they're trying to put that shaving cream on him. They're trying to cut his hair. And wow, like Ron Ritchie and Brian Adidas and Italian Stallion. And wait a second. Wait a second. They got part of that mutton. They got part of the mutton chop. They got part of the mutton chops that Ox Baker had. And so he has been trimmed somewhat.
It's for everybody thinks. Then I'm not going to save him. Every time I see you, Ox Baker, I'm going to clip some of that mustache of yours until you're bald like the rest of your head. Every city that I see you, I'm going to be clipping, and I'm going to be clipping away till there's nothing left in your face. And this is what I got to right here. And I'm going to get more. Believe me, I'm going to clip him till he's bald, and that's a promise I make to everyone. And first, a promise to myself, Gordon, I'm going to keep my word. I'm going to clip him till he's bald.
Well, fair enough. The comments from the national heavyweight champion, Ronnie Garvin. Doug Summers now checking the ring, removing his T-shirt and getting ready to move out. And Summers, a quick chop on the break. And a wing over takedown by Summers. I watched Summers when he began his career in pro wrestling, and he has come a long, long way, I can assure you of that. Big, tall, rangy man. No wasted motion. Arm drag and twist now by Summers. Moves into an inside arm bar on Starbuck. High backdrop by Summers. He's well over 6 feet tall, so when he gives you a full body slam or a backdrop, you're way in the air when you start your descent. Off the ropes. Another backdrop by Summers, and Summers moves in on him very, very quickly. Count at 2. Starbuck was able to power out before the 3 count, however. Starbuck retaliating pretty well on Summers now. It has Summers in some trouble. A good Irish whip puts him back into the turnbuckle. Ooh, Summers cut him off the pass. Delivered that knee and shin bone right across the abdominal wall. Snap mare that takes Starbuck back to the canvas again. And that was right across Starbuck's nose. Starbuck coming out, but he may have a broken nose. Starbuck having his problems now, as Summers seems to be in complete control. Summers continues to drive that knee and foot into the chest and stomach of Mike Starbuck. Has him back over the ropes and a forearm across the chest once again. Starbuck hanging on. Summers now more punishment, but he's back inside the ring. And Summers stalks his man slowly, methodically, brings him up. Jams him into the turnbuckle. Ties those legs up. And now Summers driving a knee into the inverted abdominal wall of Mike Starbuck, and now the referee freeing Starbuck, and the referee checking with Starbuck, seeing if he wants to stop. He does not, and so Summers gets him in a side headlock. Short chopping right hand. Gut wrench also by Summers. And it's Summers going to the figure four. Doug Summers going to the figure four. And that will be all, she wrote. That will indeed be all, she wrote, for Mike Starbuck, and it's up to Summers to break that hold. He finally does. So the winner of this match is indeed Doug Summers.
You know what, Gordon Soley? I heard you say earlier in the program that the only people disappointed in us losing the titles was us. That's not true. You ever been to Daytona in the springtime? You ever been to Sturgis in August? Those people are our people, and they're disappointed in us too. Ole Anderson and his sidekick, they stole the belt from us, and we are not going to let it happen. Now, they may be a great team. They're very good wrestlers, this is true. But they stole the title from us, and we're not going to let ourselves rest until we get them back. Our people are behind us, and you people out there, you know who you are. And those of you who are not behind us, let me tell you something, Gordon Soley. Hey, listen, Thunderbolt Patterson's a great wrestler. Ole Anderson is a great wrestler. But there's two more people that know that you stole the belt from us. One is Scott Hogg, the other's Wild Bill. Ole Anderson, you know you stole it, you dog. Thunderbolt Patterson, now you know you stole it. We know you stole it. All these people out here, they think you won it. We know better. What are we going to do the next time we need them? We're going to beat them up.
Well, all right, fair enough. The comments from the Long Riders. Bob Roop and Ron Starr, gentlemen.
Tommy Rich, go talk to Ronnie Garvin. Find out what it's like to get on Bob Roop's hit list. Yeah, Garvin was right up there in the top. Number one. Look what happened to him today. He said he wanted to wrestle me. He got a piece of me. Now, I got Tommy Rich to worry about defending my title against. Ron Starr, you know why you're here. You're here for me. You're here for Ronnie Garvin. If it takes you 50 times, your job is to beat the man, take the title away from him, discredit him, and get him out of here.
Mr. Roop, I'm going to tell you, man to man, you've been an idol of mine for many years of professional wrestling, being the amateur champion that you were, and the great professional wrestler that you are. Well, you're looking at somebody right here, people, that'll stand in the ring and go toe for toe, tooth for tooth, and nail for nail. It makes no difference to me, gentlemen. Ronnie Garvin, like he said, if it takes 50 times, if it takes 150 times, I'm going to be in there and I'm going to be giving 110%, because anything less than that, and I'll lose it. Mr. Garvin, get ready. This man's told you what to be looking for. You're on the hit list, and we're going to get to you one way or another, buddy.
I'll be there to make sure it happens, Garvin.
Right now, here's a special word.